Hello to all of my peeps. It's so good to see you here today. From my chair, episode 112. I brought a friend for you today. This is Lily. I am so proud of Lily. Oh my goodness. My mother, she just resurrected her. I told you I gave all my plants to her while I went to Papua New Guinea. Look at the new growth at the top. I'm just so proud of her. I gave all my plants to Mama when I went to Papua New Guinea, and she made them all grow. And I've been particularly worried about this one. In fact, I called her the other day. I'm like, Mama, she looks so sad. All the leaves are all droopy and sad. I'm like, Mama, she looks so sad. She's like, when's the last time you watered it? And I'm like, I don't know. She's like, give it some water. And sure enough, goodness gracious, within a few hours, it all perked up and was pretty. And but she resurrected it for me while I was gone to Papua New Guinea. And but anyhow, it's so good to see you. Thank you for continuing to join me with these. We're going to review. This is our last week of review, and then we'll talk a little bit at the end about next week, Lord willing, next week. We've been studying our boxes, reviewing the boxes. Let's go through them. Number one, or excuse me, box number 8, the Challenger box. The bull destroyed the box. Then box number 9, if my box will please you, then you can have my box. The Peacemaker box. And me, the one box, my box is perfect, the perfect box. Number 2, box 2, I need you in my box. The Needy box. Box 3, my box is better than your box, it's the comparison box. Box 4, alone in my unique box. This is the isolated box. Number 5, box 5. This is my box. This is the analytical box. And then we talked about that. So for this week, new material, here we go. Box number 6. What if it rains on my box? This is the worst case scenario box. As I was reading and studying, most of the world is our box 6 boxes, the worst case scenario, and that you can see that, and we'll talk about it in just a little bit, but with the news media and things, they play on the fear of 6 boxes. Let me cite my sources, please, as I do every week. The Road Back to You by Ian Cronin and Suzanne Stabile, and then The Path Between Us by Suzanne Stabile. Wonderful books, good books to study the personality. So, let's jump in. Let's jump in. Probably a lot of you that are listening to me, you are 6 boxes. And so what is it like to live in this box? First of all, I must maintain a sense of safety and certainty in an unpredictable world. Therefore, I must imagine and plan for potential catastrophes. Not catastrophes that we know are going to happen, but there are potential catastrophes. I imagine the worst thing that can happen, and I have a plan for it already. That's number 1, maintain a sense of safety and certainty. Number 2, oh, I love this, oh my goodness. My life's mantra is only 2 words. What if? What if? What if? What if? What if? That is my life's mantra. Next, number 3, I experience elevated anxiety when life is going smoothly, because I wonder what might come along and ruin it. What's going to happen? So something's not right. Everything's running smoothly. What's going on? Number 4, I appreciate order, plans, rules, predictability. If there's a bolt missing out of the table, they're going to call and order the bolt, because in their mind they see the table crashing and falling and the gravy falling and burning the cat and burning Grandpa's leg, and they see it all. They want order, they want plans and rules and predictability. That gives them much safety in all of that. Next, oh, I love this one. They are full of doubts and questions. They go through and they're like, I love this one. They're like a deer in the headlights. They're like the deer in the headlights. They look at it like, oh my goodness, what am I doing here? Did I make the right decision? Did I do the right thing? They're like the C-3PO on Star Wars. We're doomed, we're doomed, we're doomed. They just don't know what to do. Then, I love this one, number 6. I want to feel connected to the people I love. They're the ones who are always calling and texting to make sure that everybody's okay, that you're safe, and that you're well. Number 7, I suffer from, I keep going back on these, I suffer from analysis paralysis. I'll just keep going from that. I turn to friends and coworkers and family members for advice because I don't trust my own thinking. Number 8, please, I love this one. Just pay attention to this, especially if you have a 6-box in your family. Please don't dismiss or scold or make fun of my fears. If you're a 6-box, or if you're related to a 6-box, you have a relationship with a 6-box, don't scold or make fun of or dismiss their fears. They need your calm and reasoned reassurance. They really do see the sad and the sour and the bad in most things. But they don't need you to make fun of that and minimize those things. Number 9, people can tell me that I am overly pessimistic. Overly pessimistic. New things make me skeptical, and I'll voice it. I'll say something about it. I don't trust people who compliment me too much. They're overly pessimistic. This is interesting here, number 10, what's it like to live in a 6-box? I link together all of my past fears, memories, past hurts, and disappointments, which makes it very difficult for me to forgive and forget. I tend to believe that I can protect myself by remembering those hurts and disappointments. They connect them all, kind of like a paper chain. They connect the past fears and memories and hurts and disappointments. And forgiveness is difficult because it makes them vulnerable. So what is my communication style? You probably already guessed it. Cautions. That's their communication style. Warnings. Second guessing, troubleshooting, worst case scenario thinking, questioning. And you know, if you have a 6-box, you know that that's what they do. Everything's caution. Are you sure you want to do that? Are you sure you want? Don't forget this. Don't forget that. Are you sure you want to go that direction? I don't know. That might not be safe. But that is their communication style. Don't run with the scissors. Does that sound familiar? Don't run with scissors. Cautions. All of those are cautions. What's the primary struggle of a 6-box? You guessed it. It's fear. But their fear is in the form of anxiety. This is a really good slide to project a 6-box. Fear comes or arises when you're in the presence of a clear and immediate source of danger. I am afraid because this is happening and this gives me fear. Anxiety is that vague, free-floating sense and apprehension that arises to a response to an unknown threat that may never materialize. It's like leaving food out just a titch too long on the counter. How long has it been there? Well, I don't know. I just put it out a little bit ago. You need to throw it away. It might have been out too long and you might get sick. But it smells okay. Well, no, you might get sick, so throw it away. It's the anxiety that smell the milk. I gave you that illustration months and months ago. Smell the milk. I smell the milk. I do it too. I'm guilty of that too. Just in case you poured it, something's wrong with it. But it's an anxiety that something might happen. Something bad might happen. That it might materialize. It's what you feel when you imagine what would happen if. Fear says wrong is happening. Anxiety to a 6-box is anticipating that it might happen. Their go-to emotion, you guessed it already, worry. Worry, that is their go-to emotion. We all have an element of worry in us, but their worry is the guiding force to everything. It's their guiding force. Basically, I try to give you a slide to sum them up. Basically, they doubt their ability to make good decisions. Pretty much, that sums it up. So what's the path to growth? Let's talk about that. Number 1, you'll need to accept deep in your core that bad things do happen. Bad things do happen. But you can't live your life always fretting about the unknown. Bad things are going to happen, 6-boxes. But you can't live and spend your whole life fretting about the unknown. Next, number 2, you'll need to permit the people around you to take risks. You don't like risks. I know that. But the people around you, sometimes they do like risks. Not everyone has the same fears as you do. If they want to fly, let them fly. If they want to start a new business, let them start a new business. But what if they fail? It's okay. Let them fail if that's what it needs, if that's what they need to do. But then again, they may not fail. Give them that chance and take the risk. Permit risk-taking. Number 3, find a way to, on purpose, weigh both the risks and rewards when you discuss things with people. They don't only need the cons, they need the pros too. They need to learn how to offer both of those. Discuss the pros and the cons. You're bent towards only looking at the negative, only looking at the pessimistic side of it, only the cons, but sprinkle in there the pros. Yeah, okay, I can see that. That's good, that's good, that's good. You can do that. I can see you doing that. Learn how to offer those things. Next. Number 4, you'll need to hold 2 conflicting things in tension. Okay? Pay attention to this, 6 boxes. Number 1, that you live in a culture that is never going to let you feel safe. Notice the thing here. It's a news desk. Okay? Your culture, the culture that we live in right now, you're going to have to hold this in tension, conflicting things in tension every day. That you live in a culture that's never going to let you feel safe. And number 2, that you are safe. You are safe. And again, how can any of us feel safe in a world when we turn on the news outlet and we see potentially this perpetually alarming news, live to you right now from this and this certain situation. It's all horrible. The world's coming to an end. Yes, it is, and Christ wins, by the way. We'll talk about that in just a second. You're in danger. There's string of robberies and fires here, and this country's doing this and this country's doing that. I noted that the media outlets, they play on and they feed on our fears and our worries and on 6 boxes. You're going to have to keep those things those conflicting things in check. That first of all, you live in a culture that's never going to let you feel safe, but that you are safe. You are safe. Number 5, it's vital for you to recognize this ploy to incite you to panic. Recognize the ploy. See it for what it is. When you see things on the news that get you all riled up and fearful and afraid, look, turn it off. Turn it off, 6 boxes. Don't keep the news on all day, every day. Now, yes, keep yourself informed, and that's great, that's fantastic. But the media, they're trying to play on all of your fears. Recognize the ploy to incite you to panic, and then think twice before permitting your anxiety to take over your life. I need you to remember this. I love this path to growth for 6 boxes. Remember the spiritual truth that you are ultimately safe. According to Psalm 4:8 and Proverbs 18:10 and 29:25. This doesn't mean that you're magically protected from danger or disaster or calamity, but from an eternal perspective, you've read the end of the story and Christ wins, which means that His children win. So 6 boxes, you're ultimately safe. Number 7, you'll need to settle in your soul that even if everything doesn't work out as planned, things are going to be all right. And we know that all things work together for good. God is in control of absolutely everything. Believing in the supremacy of Christ is so vital to a 6 box. Romans 8:28. Everything doesn't work out as planned. Everything's going to be all right because we know who holds the future. We know who holds tomorrow. Number 8. You need to decide deep in your core that God is either in control or He isn't. Not being ugly, I'm just saying God is either in control or He isn't. And we know as Christians, God is in control of all things. Which, number 9, you're going to think that the antidote for fear is courage. It's not. The antidote for fear is faith. It's faith. And then that faith asks you to believe and trust in someone who is bigger than you are, someone who is bigger than those fears, and that will have your back, and that will never leave you nor forsake you. Hebrews 13:5. What do you need to hear? I love this. You are safe. 6 boxes, you are safe. So just reviewing 6 boxes here, that's what you need to hear, is that you are safe. So let's jump into our last box, box number 7. You've been waiting so patiently for a review of 7 boxes. Only fun allowed in my box. I call this the happy box. Let's talk about it. I love this picture. This is such a 7 box. What is it like to live in this box? Here we go. Let's talk about it. Scratch the vibrant paint on my surface, and what you'll find underneath is a need to avoid pain. A 7 box needs to avoid pain. They don't want to feel unpleasant emotions. In fact, fear and emptiness and boredom and disappointment and sadness, they're intolerable to 7 boxes. Number 2, when situations become too emotionally intense or distressing, I will feel an irrepressible urge to lighten things up. And they do. I've seen it. When things get to be too depressing or sad, they feel that need. I've got to lighten it up. I've got to make it better and brighter, and the glass is always half full. But the problem is some people don't like that. Some people need some time to grieve and to be sad in things. Even in a sad movie, a 7 will feel that need to crack a joke right in the middle of the saddest part of the movie. Right? That's what it's like to be in a 7 box. Number 3, I crave stimulation. Stimulation. You ask a 7 box how much is enough, and they'll say just a little bit more. One more time, Mama, one more time. Just one more time, let's do this one more time. And that's the problem. There's never enough, at least not to satisfy their voracious appetite. Number 4, my source of satisfaction is never found within me or in the present moment. It's always external and in the far distant future. There's always something they haven't tried, something more to do, and something new to plan. They truly do have a difficult time being satisfied in the present moment. Satisfaction is external and it's in the distant future. Number 5, I don't want to be tied down. Stuck and commitment to them mean the same exact thing. I don't want to be tied down. I've got to have flexibility. I avoid making some long-term option limiting commitments. They really dislike commitment, and they get bored with the same routine, and they do like to try new things. Number 6, people close to me say that I can be argumentative. I can act superior. I can also be opinionated and stubborn. Yes, 6 boxes. 7 boxes, that's what it's like to live. You can be argumentative, act superior, opinionated, and stubborn. Number 7, I don't like it when people have expectations of me. I don't like to be told what to do. I'm a dreamer, I'm an explorer. I'm not achievement-oriented so much as I am experience-oriented. I like the fun part of everything, not the expecting results part of things. Number 8, I don't like it when things are emotionally messy, and relationships are notoriously messy. Sometimes the biggest problem with a 7 box is getting them to see that there is a problem. Because when they face the reality that there is a problem, they have to deal with it, and dealing with it is very, very messy. And number 9, I suffer from FOMO. FOMO, fear of missing out. I'm always the first person up for a last-minute adventure. I have a limitless amount of energy available to me day after day. It's hard for me to stop. Number 10, this is so sad to me. I am more prone to addiction than any other personality box. This breaks my heart, and this is why. Their impulsivity and difficulty with delaying gratification, combined with their desire to escape afflictive emotions at all costs, make them more addictive prone than any and keep the negative feelings at bay, hence the strong enticement to addictions, and I quote. Basically, they have a difficult time delaying gratification. They want instantaneous gratification. It's like the roller coaster. I want to ride again. I want to ride again. It's that feeling, that euphoric feeling that they want. Therefore, they are prone to things outside of fun. They choose sinful vices to give them the feeling that they want, and plus they want to escape those emotions and things that would hurt them and things like that. They don't desire emotional things much at all, so they would choose sinful vices to put up that wall and make them not have to think about things like that. Their communication style is storytelling. Joking, laughing, entertaining. They could keep a group on the edge of their seats telling a story. And then they act something out that's happened to them. And they're so very, very good at that. Their primary struggle, you guessed it, it's gluttony. But it isn't necessarily overeating at the buffet. It's a reflection of their compulsive need to devour positive experiences. And have those stimulating ideas. It's gluttony. It's like overfilling on positive experiences. Their go-to emotion is optimism. They're optimistic to a fault, definitely. I do one slide to basically sum them up. They're always on the move and always wanting to enjoy life. They're motivated by that deep need to be happy and avoid pain. They see the world as their playground. They're the happiest when they're on the move, enjoying life and going from one activity to the next. So what is the path to growth for 7 boxes? Number 1, you'll need to accept that sometimes life is boring. That's so hard for you. Sometimes life is boring and there's no way to reframe it. You're just going to have to live through it. Number 2, you'll need to learn to deal with problems as they arise and set aside your wish that problems should just fix themselves. Yeah. Problems don't just fix themselves. You're going to have to deal with them as they arise. Number 3, you'll need to accept that the absence of painful personal feelings doesn't work well in a long-term relationship. I know. You don't like that. Number 4, pain is unavoidable. You must learn how to embrace and steward your suffering rather than run from it. Embrace it, steward it, rather than run from it. Number 5, you're going to have to learn how to, in your path to growth, practice restraint and moderation. Restraint and moderation. Get off the treadmill that tells you that more is always better, because that's not the case. That's not the case at all. I want you to, number 6, unflinchingly reflect on the past and make a list of people who have hurt you or whom you have hurt. Then forgive them and forgive yourself and make amends where necessary. You don't like to do that, but that is a definite path to growth for you. Number 7, bring yourself back to the present moment whenever you begin to quickly jump into the next moment. I'll put it this way. Learn how to enjoy this day. Not tomorrow, not 6 months from now. Enjoy this day. Something that will be helpful for you, number 8, exercise daily. Exercise daily to burn off the excess energy. I've seen this firsthand. Exercise daily to burn off the excess energy. That is a definite path to growth. Number 9, it's time for you to stop consuming and start contributing. Stop just consuming, and start giving out and contributing to people. True happiness and satisfaction can't be taken by force or manufactured whenever we need them. True happiness and success is found in finding God's will for your life and doing it. Number 10, now more than any other box, you will need a daily time and space to be still and seek God through prayer and through His Word. It's so important for 7 boxes. Be still, the Bible says, and know that I'm God. Be still. Let God talk to you. Let God speak to you through His Word. It will center you. It will focus you on what's important. It will focus you on this moment. Give us this day our daily bread, this moment, instead of all the stuff out there that there's to do. You need a time to be still and seek the Lord. What do they need to hear? I love this. God will take care of you. God will take care of you. So, we have reviewed all 9 boxes, all of them. Hopefully you have figured it out. You've nailed down your personality box number. I will say this as to wrap up these review lessons. Each box number has a distinct, unique way of seeing the world. We each have an underlying motivation that influences how we behave, how we think, and how we feel. The problem is that we often don't like what we see, especially in the primary struggle. Yes, we don't like that part, do we? And because we don't like what we see in ourselves, we respond in one of 2 ways. Number 1, we can respond like this. Oh well, deal with it. You can deal with it. We ignore it and we make other people have to deal with it too. It really does make it tough on relationships when we look and say, oh, who cares, whatever. I have anger. I've got lots of pride. I'm a 4 box. I've got lots of envy. I've got deceit and greed and fear. I'm a 7. I've got gluttony. I'm a 9. I'm slothful. I'm an 8 box. I have lots of lust. So just deal with it and get over it. We can have that mentality, that oh well, who cares mentality. Or the other way that a lot of times we look at it and look at our primary struggle is we have the oh my, that can't be me. That's not me. Oh my, that can't be me. The mentality is denial. It's a denial that causes me to run and hide. Or like I did, I got frustrated and angry that was me. No, that can't be me. I'm so angry, I'm so frustrated. And yeah, one is anger. Yeah, that's my primary struggle. My deadly sin is anger. And I did. I responded. I threw the book on the table and I'm like, that's not me. That's not me. And then I had to come to the realization that I had to stop denying those struggles and that struggle that I have and own it. Either response, either one, whether it's an oh well, deal with it, or it is a oh my, no, that's not me with a denial. Either response has the same result. The result is that we will continue to give that deadly sin the keys to drive our personality. Whether it's anger or pride, deceit, envy, greed, fear, gluttony, lust, or sloth. It doesn't matter. If we continue to ignore it or deny it, we continue to give the keys to those deadly sins, those primary struggles to guide our personality, to drive it. It's very easy for me to give the keys to my internalized anger and allow it to drive me and control me in any given day. My desire today, very specifically, is to, yes, I want you to identify your box because that's going to help us in the lessons to follow, but I want to help you in your primary struggle so that you can stop giving anger the keys. Stop giving pride the keys and deceit and envy and greed, etc. Stop giving them the keys and allow the Holy Spirit to give you victory in that darker, sinful part of your personality. But something I've learned over the years, when I give God, I love this thought, hang on to this. When I give God consent to work on the darker spaces of my personality, that's when lasting, meaningful change comes into my life. Is it always perfect? No. Is it always amazing? No. But it's about growth. It's about growth. I want to grow. I will say this, I am not the same person I was before I found and discovered all of this personality stuff. I'm different. Growth. Is it perfect? No. But there's growth there, and that's what I want you to also. But it's identifying that personal struggle, that primary struggle, and saying, nope, taking the keys away to that bad boy. Let's let the Holy Spirit work on me in this. Next week, Lord willing, we're going to jump into some new material. There are 4 main reasons that we're studying personality boxes. 4 main reasons. We discussed the first one, but that was back in February, okay? I discussed it back in February. So next week, Lord willing, I'm going to briefly remind us of that first one that we talked about, the whole reason why we're studying all this. And then I'm going to give us the second reason next week, Lord willing. Don't forget Lydia at 11 in her journey to remain cancer-free. Now go be amazing today.